Coucou de coucou! De retour à Beacon Pine, j'allais dire Prodigal pour une raison quelconque. Alright. Hello? Rollo, is that you? Step back up. Over? Strange. Alright.
Luca glanced at the now silent walkie-talkie. He wasn't sure what to think.
Ah, moi non plus. Oh, hey Roxy. This is about me accidentally kicking you yesterday. Is Rollo here? No. Look at me, Luca. This is serious. Is Rollo here? No, I haven't seen him since yesterday. Rollo didn't come home last night. What?
A pit formed in Luca's stomach.
Where was the last place you saw him? We were playing around in Weepwood and then it was late and we went home. Weepwood? If he's alive, I'm going to kill that little creep. Is there anything else? Anything that he said?
Luca's mouth felt dry.
No, we're just messing around. I need to go let people know to check the woods. You just stay out of trouble. Go see if he's hiding in the library or something.
Luca could feel his heart beating in his throat.
Except Turk's Valley. Rollo. Where are you? Check the library for Rollo. I'm supposed to leave the house? But an adult told me to leave the house. Je peux rien faire par là. J'assume que les adultes sont en train de chercher. Hey Bert, have you seen Rollo? Nope. Mostly's been talking to clipboards. They're setting up a lot of stuff for the festival. This one said he had to process some answers. Told him that was fine. I'll wait right here until he gets back. Hey Jetson, have you seen Rollo come this way by any chance? Right not. As elusive as a fish in this here pond. Is he non-existent? Dead? Fished out?
Luca stuck a toy stretchy hand onto the hook. Those things always get dirty anyway.
Bracelet. Should we give it to Mom? She likes jewelry. That's a sweet thought, Buckaroo. But I'm not sure she'd fully appreciate a pawn bracelet. Tombé dans le trou. Mr. Surgery Guy, why, howdy Luca. Hello again, Pete. I'm not Pete, you silly goose. I'm Toby. Could have fooled me. Well, hey, it's no problemo. Important thing is we love to hear your thoughts. Yeah, I'm getting that impression. We're all part of something special, Luca. And it all starts right here in Beacon Pines. I got it.
Toby looked up from the clipboard excitedly.
That's right. So how about you start by telling me... Look, no offense, but I've got my own stuff to take care of. Ah, you joker. We're all part of this together. You'll let us know when you're free to answer a few questions. Really need to get back to work. Just a couple more minutes. If Roxy said she will be here, then she will be here. Just don't see why I'm standing around, doing nothing, and waiting for Roxy, when I could be standing around, doing nothing, and getting paid for it. Come on, Lumi. Roxy needs our help. Yeah, well, good intention don't qualify as legal tender. Ah, my parent wouldn't listen. No offense, but isn't Rolo always getting into trouble? Something feels different this time. What can we do to help? We need to check where the adult aren't. So I guess it's up to us to check Deepwood. Our shift doesn't end for another couple of hours. We could spend the time making posters. That'd be great. Yes. Right, Fitz and I will check the Deepwood. We'll be back later to pick up the poster. I think my dad has a map of Deepwood. Let's swing by my house and grab it before we head out. Nagpunta sa car. Secondary party. Ok, la bibliothèque était... Je me rappelle ce que la bibliothèque était. What's this about the missing child? I must stress the situation is completely under control. Just seems so terrible. You sure there's nothing we can do to help? Nonsense, young Mr. Coder. We'll turn up safe and sound, I am certain. Okay, Rolo Coder. You just focus on settling in. Trust my sister has supplied you with a suitable lodging? Oh yes, Miss Valentine has been more than accommodating. We're just telling our daughter Beck that... Where did she run off to? Hey, Don. Papa Don. Is it true about Rolo? Yeah, he didn't come home last night. I wonder if it's connected. What? I was checking in on reports about increased activity around town. What sort of activity? Windowless trucks, mechanical noises, strange lights. Your typical shady stuff. Who would be doing all that and why? Well, I have a few leads. The Valentine family is always suspicious. Perennial Harvest certainly has the resources. You have any idea where Rolo could be? The best place to start looking is where the trail went cold. Where did you last see him? We're in Weepwood. Right by Valentine's fertilizer. I'll check out Weepwood when my shift's end. I do my best work at night. I wonder why. And she goes back to sleep. Bibliothèque est par à droite, fait qu'on va aller everywhere else, as we should. La fille qui est toujours en train de lire. Encore en train d'étudier. Hi Luca, what's up? You haven't seen Rolo around recently, have you? He doesn't come around here much. That's since they made a rule that he can only order key decaf. His eye went wide with disbelief. What do you mean, vanished? That's impossible. Oh my. He doesn't even see the danger he's in. Is this like meta and you're like reading what I'm reading? Are you the narrator? Hey, Yizun. Mystery Museum. It's laughable, really. Did you happen to see Rolo in there? No, just the shadow of a family. Cling on to a town, cling on to the past. Cling. Feel free to check yourself, but don't expect to have your mind blown. Hey Griffin, has Rolo been here? I've seen him all day. I'm sure he'll show up safe and sound. When he does, tell him there's a strawberry chocolate double scoop waiting for him. On the house. He'll like that. Being a brat. Sharper Valentine, a celebration of excellence.
We all know Beacon Pines is a great town. What
Pardon?
you may not know is great towns grow from mighty roots. And that is why you cannot tell the story of Beacon Pines without telling the story of one Sharper Valentine.
Great man theory.
Keen intellect and strong moral fiber led to a grand vision. A vision of a community dedicated to a better tomorrow. In his own words, a better tomorrow is within our grasp, but it requires a singular mind to harness it. Lucky for us, he decided to grow that vision here, in Beacon Pines. And how does one grow a better tomorrow? With fertilizer, of course. Valentine's Fertilizer Company became the lifeblood of a town yearning for purpose. But then tragedy struck. A scientific experiment gone wrong. An accident which took Sharper away from us far too soon.
Sick
To this day,
fertilizer.
we struggle to pick up the pieces. But one foul harvest isn't enough to stop the people of Beacon Pines. The spirit of Sharper Valentine lives on. It lives in the hearts of everyone with a dream for a better tomorrow. Together we will follow his example and grow a bountiful future.
Sell more.
Valentine family and the Valentine Fertilizer Capital Repayments Fund.
Ouais. Ce que je me disais. That was unhelpful. J'aime qu'il te fait pas relire les choses que t'as déjà vues. Ah, c'est vrai, c'est ici où que je vienne, techniquement. Joey, have you seen Rollo around? No, sorry, Luca. I've had my eye in the dirt looking for beetles. Can't seem to find any. He never came home last night. You think it's because it's been colder than normal? I'll see why that would have anything to do with Rollo. No, the beetles! You think the temperature confused their circadian rhythm or something? Who's to say? No beetologist. You're a kid after my own heart. Just keep out the night for him, would you? Of course.
After the foul harvest destroyed their wealth and reputation, the Valentines shuttered off their estate. The Valentine mansion both fake.
Bon, qu'est-ce que je disais qui t'empêchait de faisait pas checker la même chose deux fois? I stand corrected. Dang, they boarded up the way in. Yeah, it's not the way I'm supposed to go.
A peek behind the curtain, the methods and ruminations of Patrick C. Montesquieu,
Oh.
one of the greatest acting minds of our time, by Patrick C. Montesquieu.
Oof.
Sally Seashore's simple, succulent sundries. Luca brushed off a smudge of dust. Or maybe it was flour. 30 recipes so easy you'll doubt it's even edible. Oh, the cobs I've eaten. A salad-centric travel guide for the mildly adventurous.
Yuck.
There were rarely any actual new additions. Simply a variety of existing content rotated into the front display each week.
Not fooling anyone. Hey, Jace. Oh, hey, Luca. Did Rollo come by? Nope. I was actually surprised. He's usually here early on days when a new issue drops. Rollo's the biggest Hank Atomic fan I know. Beside myself, that is. Well, he does. If he does swing by, tell him to meet me you know where. I don't know where. No, he knows where. Oh, Roger, that Space Cadet.
The bottom corner shelf was a dusty array of thick science books. Only one binding was clean enough to read. Cellular Biology and the Chemistry of Mitosis.
Boring. Pourquoi juste
Mycological
celle-là?
Phosphorescence.
Ugh, more like my complete loss of interest. Oh, that's the best I want to say.
The entire top level of the library was devoted to comics, most of which were Hank Atomic and the myriad of lesser revered spin-offs.
Nerd, poke around the library achievement. Can I jump down? I want to jump down. I want to jump down. Voilà, en arrière. Hello, Pingouin.
Theo volunteered at the library during the summers. He wasn't very social, so he'd dedicate each summer to becoming an expert in a single subject, making him a reliable source of very particular knowledge. If you were to ask Kato something he didn't know, he'd escape into the dusty old bookshelves and return with just the right thing.
Hey, Kato.
Kato was lost in his reading. Luca crooked his neck to see the title. Introduction to Melitology.
The fuck is that? Oh, hey, Luca, you snuck up on me. Aren't you a cutie patootie? Good book? Don't know, just
He
started it.
gestured to the shelves.
Really running out of books I haven't read yet. So now it's on to the wonderful world of bees. Turns out bees are pretty cool. For instance, did you know that around 70% of bee species actually lives in underground tunnels? Or that if there are two queens in a hive, they will fight to the death for supremacy. What? That's interesting, but you haven't seen Rollo around recently, have you? Since yesterday. Keep an eye out for him, okay? Sure thing. If I see him, and you'll be the first to know. Déjà la fin de journée. Sort of monster put candy behind a locked door. Hey, oh yeah, Mr. Nuncreed works weird hours sometime. Ce personnage-là, il est sur le loading screen. T'as toi, Rollo, ben toi, Luca, Rollo, and whoever this is. Of course she does. How about you? When do I work? No, what's your name? Luca Van Horn. You new here? Yep, not by
Beck's
choice.
family moved often,
Beck.
giving her little time to establish any real connections. She would tell you she prefers it that way.
I'm looking for my friend Rollo. He didn't come home last night. Oh, he's missing. Guess so. Like missing? That sort of thing happen a lot around here?
Lucas shifted his feet uncomfortably.
Well, that sucks. Yeah. So I should probably get going. Hey, wait up. What?
Beck pulled a coin from her pocket.
Flip it. I'll come back with you. What? So says the unlucky penny. Unlucky penny? Yep. Well, technically it's landed on heads. Leave this kid to find his friends alone. But I will do the opposite. Oh, that's kind of like me and Rollo. I guess Rollo is my unlucky penny. That's settled it. A person should never be without their unlucky penny. Let's go find him. The name's Beck. Pleasure to meet you, Beck. Becky, j'imagine. Suppose I could use some help. Try to keep up. Toujours rien. Oh. J'avais oublié ça, ce côté-ça ici.
Luca felt a chill as he approached Beck. Her eyes were locked on the strange green liquid. The nearby grass was coated in a fine layer of frost.
Is this sort of things normal around here? Because puddle of glowing ooze are definitely not what I expected from this place. I have no idea what this stuff is. Well, the next obvious step is science! What does science suggest? Poke it with a stick!
Luca watched as Beck dipped a broken tree branch into the goo. Beck's eyes widened as flowers grew from the dead wood.
Fertilizer.
First small buds, which quickly bloomed into vibrant petals.
What the? Cool!
As quickly as they had grown, the flowers began to shrivel and turn gray. Beck dropped the stick with a grunt of disgust.
Okay, so the signs tell us this gunk is weird as hell. Yeah, seems dangerous. Any bullies? Hey Tish, look what the cat dragged in. Yep. Don't have time for this right now, Iggy. Ah, don't say things like that. It hurts Tish's feeling. Ain't that right, Tish? Yep. He looks fine to me. Why, hello, I don't think we have been properly introduced. Iggy's the name. This is my compatriot, Tish. Yep. Probably heard of us. Can't say I have. Forgive you just this once on account of ya being new around here. Or would you hang out with this dud? Oh, seems pretty alright. Iggy, why do you have to be so... you? Has he even told you what his parents skipped out on him? Shut up. True, they got tired of having such a pathetic kid and left him. Iggy, I'm gonna only say this one time. Don't talk about my family. Ah, well look who's growing the backbone now that the girl's around. First his Pope broke, then his mom finally couldn't take it anymore and bounced. Sounds like violence time.
Iggy took a step towards Luca, his sneer lit by the glowing puddle. Beck could see tears welling in Luca's eyes, his fists clenched. Some things about Beacon Pines were very different from the city, but a bully from a hayseed town is really no different from a city bully. Beck took a deep breath and thought.
Well, time to bust out the moon. Ok, ça c'est Beck qui va faire de quoi.
Well, time to bust out the strange.
Alright, Luca. Look like you need a little mud bath. What's wrong with you, new kid? We're about to pound your friend.
Beck stared in silence, the only sign of life being the twitch of an eye.
Weird when people don't talk. Yep. Stop being a weirdo. Hello, are you some kind of wackadoo? Makes sense, wackadoo travels in pack, eh, Dud?
At the sight of Iggy taunting Beck, something in Luca snapped. Iggy's smirk shifted to a look of shock as Luca launched himself into his stomach.
Ah! Ah, fuck.
Iggy's
But that's
clothes were
lame.
drenched in the glowing ooze.
You jerk, my clothes are ruined. I'm
His
gonna...
voice began to slur as he struggled to get up.
You gonna teenage and die? I don't feel so good. Oh boy. Elf! Sorry, I just... Oh shit. Yep. That was intense. You gonna be okay, right? Nothing about this seems okay.
Person at the warehouse. This strange ooze and what it did to Iggy. Was Rollo caught up in all of this?
You have to find Rollo. You took the word out of my mouth. Whoa there, little buddies. You startled me. What in the dickens are you up to in this part of town? You were just helping look for Rollo. Oh, you haven't heard the good news? Rollo showed up safe and sound a bit ago. Really? So where was he? It's funny, really. He just got a little turned around in the woods. He can't be disorienting, you know? Starting to get that impression. Rollo's at this house now, getting some well-deserved rest. Wow, that's a relief. You two should scurry along before you get lost yourselves. Yeah, come on, Beck. Can't wait to introduce you to Rollo. Oh, that reminds me. Luca, your grandmother was looking for you. She was? Worried sick. You should march straight home, I guess. Beck, your folks might be getting worried too. I'll walk you home. Need to talk with Nellie about work anyway.
Beck glanced toward Luca.
Guess all well that ends well. I'll introduce you to Rollo tomorrow. Sure. Glad he's okay. Un autre point?
Rollo was safe. A wave of relief washed over Luca, which was quickly replaced by a sense of dread. Gran is going to kill me. If he hurried, he might just make it home before sundown. Chapter 4.
C'est vite comme
Our
chapitre ça.
harvest awaits. Luca took a deep breath and gingerly opened the door, steeling himself for Gran's wrath.
Gran? I'm home. Everything's fine. Gran? J'avais l'option de struggle, mais j'ai pas l'option de fighter. Gran? I know I wasn't supposed to go anywhere, I was just helping look for Rollo.
The house was empty.
Gran's not back yet. Guess that's a good thing. Nothing to do but sleep, I guess.
Luca was sitting by the pond, listening to small waves lap against a rock. His father sat in a folding chair in front of him. Without turning, he spoke. "Why don't you grab me some nice bait?" "Sure thing, Dad." Luca hopped over to the tackle box and popped open the lid. Inside was a rolling, buzzing mass. "We're fishing with bees?" Luca's father gave a warm chuckle. "Well, you catch more fish with bees than honey. Pick us out a good one." Luca closed his eyes and plucked out a bee. He could feel its wings struggle between his finger and thumb. Holding it at arm's length, he hurried over. His father deftly baited the hook and examined his work. "Interesting choice." With a practiced flick of the wrist, the line buzzed in a graceful arc. The water accepted it without a splash or ripple. "The wrong choice, but I respect it."
The pond began to freeze over. Sometimes we gotta make the wrong choice before we can make it right. Pallid ice propagated across the still surface with an alarming speed. Luca scrambled back as the ground beneath him turned cold. Dad, I don't understand. Sorry, kiddo. Understanding isn't always part of the deal. The relentless ice shot through the fishing line toward his father. Dad, look out! His father casually wound the reel. None of it's your fault, you know. Never was. Dad, we have to go! Luca grabbed his father's shoulders, trying to pull him away. Please, you have to run! The ice crackled as it spread across his father's hands. That's the thing about fishing, Luca. His chest began to crystallize. You toss your hook in, and you never know what you're gonna pull out. A shock of searing cold ran up Luca's arms. He gave one last desperate tug. The chair tipped backwards in a single frozen mass. Luca tried to stop the momentum, but it was too late. He watched the icy form of his father slam into the hard ground, shattering into 1,000 pieces that crowded around his feet. Dad, I don't understand. What does all this mean? The gentle rustle of leaves was the only reply.
That was creepy. Ah, look, more creepy.
Luca's eyes struggled to focus on the walkie-talkie.
Rollo? On flotte dans le néant. 1, 2, 3. Non, 3, 2. 4, 4, 2, 3.
Faintly, he could hear Rollo amongst the noise.
Luca! Rollo, is that you? Luca! There? Rollo, it's the middle of the night. Luca, thank God, listen. Don't know how long this thing will work down here.
Rollo's voice was coming through more clearly now. But some words were still just static.
Listen to me, someone grabbed me yesterday. The man in the hazmat suit? It was... took me to some sort of... 4142. I think I'm underground. Ground? Are you okay? Kinda. You seem more interested in... for now, at least. Mr. Kerr said you made it back home safe. Kerr? No! Trust. Peace. Hold on, someone's coming.
The signal went silent.
Rollo? Rollo, where are you?
Luca held still, waiting for a response. His pounding heartbeat marking the passage of time.
Okay, I think they're gone. Getting worse. I can barely hear
His
you.
voice began to fade.
Losing signal. Not much time. Mission control. You need to... the treehouse. The treehouse!
That, the signal died for good.
What was he trying to say about the treehouse? What's at the treehouse? Son satellite dish or antenna? Want me to use the antenna in the treehouse to get a better signal. Rollo, you're a genius.
Luca grabbed the walkie-talkie and sprinted to the treehouse.
Ta grand-mère est toujours pas arrivée, hein? Ouais. Bon. Je pense qu'on va appeler ça un épisode ici. Cannot go there. On va juste checker. Bon, ben, on va appeler ça un épisode ici, puis on va revenir là, ça c'est une rampe, la prochaine fois. Alors, au revoir et à bientôt.